never know.
We're good.
Good. Going live. All right.
Show off.
Yes.
Show off my sexy back.
I like how we both have those in. It's chilly, yeah.
Like, you look like the new.
Okay.
The snow now. Yeah, please have it.
And okay. Yeah, ready?
Yeah, I'm good. Got my sip. Yeah,
Are
I
you
got a pour.
Yeah. You all ready for this? All right, here we go. In. I'm not ready. Now I'm ready. Cool. All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
Yo, what it is, podcasters. We're so hip.
So hot. Go ahead.
So hot right now.
I want to wreck the beginning of every intro all the time.
Go for it. I mean, it's not like it's really going to get any worse. Let's be real. But thanks for tuning into another Brewnomics podcast. I'm Jerry.
I'm Paul. I'm Vic.
I'm Will.
Number 46 up in this bitch.
Favorite number.
Yeah. We're going to be talking about some of our favorite movie chase scenes with vehicles.
Yeah.
Motor vehicles with wheels, to be specific. Cars.
Explosions.
Cars, yeah. So I guess, does a boat count as a motor vehicle?
Smashing glass. Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes.
We could have had a boat stuff, but boats usually move slower.
Yeah.
It would have been
They're
speed
way
too.
down. They're way down by hose, man.
What? Or what? In those
Yeah,
house?
exactly. And then, as always, we're going to drink some beer. A lot of news. I always find that interesting how this last week, the week before, kind of this podcast, we had like no news.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
We a little bit, but we kind of had to stretch that bit of it. And now, like, there's quite a bit of stuff I had to cut out, and we may end up cutting out. But that's neither here nor there right now because we got to do something first. Ah, shit, where's the bottle?
I'm thirsty. Are you thirsty? You
I'm
used to be to get it.
Oh, God, I got it. There's light right here. Good enough.
Use
So,
the wedding ring.
first beer is from Portland. They are Widmer. I like Widmer Brothers. They do pretty all right. This is their PDX Pils. Going to start nice and gentle. I think this one's only 4.8%, which, I mean, I guess if you round up, it'll get us there. I like Widmer. I actually kind of attribute Widmer to my first favorite craft beer.
Is that their Hefe?
No, it was a Drop Top Amber.
Oh, yeah, good choice. That's actually was probably one of mine, too.
Actually, so I remember that would be like 22 years old or something. Some happy hour special at Eastside Tavern. And that was one of them.
Can't really
And
find that in Boise anymore, unfortunately.
I still see it on bottle quite a bit. I don't know if I see it on draft that often.
Okay.
But yeah, that was kind of my gateway beer. That was the one that opened me up to it. So since then, I've always had a soft spot in my heart for Widmer Brothers.
Didn't they make a burr?
Yes.
Make a burr?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
Yeah, that's their winter season.
Their winter red.
Yeah, that's one of Paul's favorites.
It's great
That's what
beer.
got me into it. Yeah.
Yeah. Excuse me.
That was your king.
Well, I remember that was another bar we were at where Paul was like, "Yeah, no, I'll just take a burr." That's exactly how he said it. And I had never had this beer before, and I
You're like, what kind?
walked up. Well, no, I was like, "All right," and I walked up to McCleary's, and they had one on draft that was burr. It was just the BRRR, and I was like, "Well, I guess we're getting that." And yeah, it was absolutely phenomenal. So this looks exactly like a Pilsner would look like.
It's very yellow.
What would you say is the difference between a Pilsner and a lager?
Probably the way that it is fermented. Like the way that is it like cold stored? I don't know. To be honest, I really don't. I wish I did. Please educate me, sir.
I will educate you.
Maybe the ingredients?
Well, I think it's and I could be wrong on this, lagers use more wheat. Pilsners use more yeast.
I know Pilsners are a little bit less achy on my tummy.
Usually lagers are brewed at a cooler temperature.
Oh, I was right.
Ales.
There you go.
It just says ales, so not necessarily pilsner. I'm just on the Googles.
That's great radio.
Lager yeast strains don't typically feature fruity aromas and other flavors. Okay, so lagers are a little bit more generic, I guess, even. But a pilsner is a colder, more flavorful beer, allegedly.
Allegedly.
The PDX Pills that we're drinking here is part of Windmere's Portland Pub Series. The PDX standing for Portland. That's actually the name of the airport. Is PDX.
Yeah, it was a sampler pack that I got at the local grocer. Because, again, I like Whitmer.
What else came in that pack?
This one, it was a Hefe, but it wasn't their traditional Hefe. It was a different type. It was Heritage? No, I'm wrong on that one. Some porter, I can't remember right now, and then an IPA that was pretty heckin' good too. What do we got on Untapped on this PDX Pills?
So Untapped has this at 3,424 total check-ins, around 3,000 unique check-ins. It's in at 4.8% alcohol by volume. It has an average rating on Untapped of 3.43, and that's happening from 2,659 ratings total. It's also sitting at 34 IBUs for looking at. Okay.
This is a really good all day drinking beer. I like it.
What do you think about it, Will?
I've talked a lot already. What do you think
Read
about
that. Can you read that paragraph for us on Untapped?
It says gold at 2016 Oregon Beer Awards.
Okay.
PDX Pils is a northern German-style pilsner brewed in the northern part of Portland. Because we live in arm's reach of the hop farms of the Pacific Northwest, we dry hop our pils with Columbia hops. Graham cracker, lemon zest, and mild hop spice complement the bitterness, making PDX Pils crisp and refreshing.
Oh, I love that dude, graham cracker and lemon zest. So it's like,
I want more graham cracker in my beer.
oh, right? I'm not mad at that at all. Trying to think of the name of that lemony.
Yeah, that's me.
It's one of the first pictures.
Oh, that's
you
adorable.
pull up on.
If on Untapped, you see, Paul, that's absolutely just beautiful. Oh, God, I'm so hard right now.
You made fun of me when I took that picture, remember? That was last night.
Hilarious.
Was it? That's great. If you guys are listening to this, pull up your Untapped and search this beer. Like Paula's picture.
It's pretty great. Follow us at Brunomics.
Download it and draw a dick on it.
Yeah, do it. And post it.
What's that lemony Girl Scout cookie called?
No idea. I only know what the
Savannah Smiles.
Okay.
There it is. Good Lord.
Wow, I wouldn't have guessed that.
This is an alcoholic Savannah Smile. I love it.
I keep thinking Santana DBX.
It is so crisp.
Yeah. No, I like this. And I think another main difference between Pilsners and lagers is the crispness of a Pilsner.
Yes.
As a lager tends to have more maltier notes. And this is a crispy, refreshing beer. It is sitting at 4.8%, so it is a little bit low. And I'm going to take this opportunity to go into reviews. So I'm going to rate this beer a 3.25.
I like the 3.25. I think I'll double down on that. It is a little low at 4.8, but not too low. I mean, definitely an all-day drinking beer. I could see some drinking games with this for sure. A little cold outside today, a little snowy, so not necessarily today's beer of choice, but a good beer to start the podcast out with.
Agreed.
It's got its fucking nutritional info on the website.
Oh, awesome. I'm glad people are starting to do that because they're going to be required to soon.
They are. I don't like that. I hate it. I don't want to know. Only 145 calories in this beer. That's actually not bad.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah.
1.8 grams of protein, 11.3 grams of carbs, and no fat.
There's
That's
protein.
actually not a bad beer.
There's protein in this beer.
That's actually, as far as the beer goes.
Pretty good.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Have a workout and drink this bitch.
I think I'm going to go ahead and rate this beer 2.5.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a little bit crispy. For me, it tastes a little bit skunky.
does it?
Just a little bit right at the very end.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what came to mind when I wrote it down.
Okay.
Yes.
Sure.
I enjoy this beer as much as Vic and JB does. When I checked in this beer last night, Will had commented on the Untapped. Something like, I've had better or some shit.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, that's exactly
I
what it
basically
was.
was like, fuck you.
Have you? Oh, so you've had this beer before?
Yes, I have.
Okay, I haven't. I know Paul had the one last night, but I had not had this.
And I agreed. I will go to, I'm sorry, 3.25.
Okay, cool.
No, you totally made it. Yeah, right on.
Well, we'll just void out Will's rating. then.
That's okay. That's what happens anyways.
All right, let's move on to some news while we finish up this booze.
Boozing and boozing and boozing and boozing.
Just a quick one, little sad note. Steven Hillenburg, inventor, creator of SpongeBob, passed away at 57 after a losing battle with ALS. Yeah, it was kind of sad. ALS is a motherfucker, any autoimmune disease is, but he gave us SpongeBob. That's pretty great.
A lot of years of SpongeBob.
A lot of years of SpongeBob. I loved the shit out of SpongeBob when I was a little bit younger. Well, it came out in '99, so 6th grade. So a good time to start watching SpongeBob, and my love for it never quite died. Stopped watching a little bit, but every now and then I'd still go back. You're in a hotel, shitty cable, nothing on flipping through, but SpongeBob's on. You're like, SpongeBob it is.
I really like the voice actor of SpongeBob, Tom Kenny.
Tom Kenny, oh, he's great, dude.
He's in a lot of different things.
A lot of different things. Surprising amount. So, I don't have much to say. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts you want to say about SpongeBob or anything like that, but I just wanted to give a little tip of the cup to good old Steven Hillenburg.
Cheers, Steven.
Cheers,
Thanks.
Steve.
Thanks for the good times.
My favorite episode of SpongeBob is the one when they mimic the Bruce Lee movie, when Sandy Cheeks has to save SpongeBob and go through the different levels of the
Like
masters.
the Tower of Death. Or
Yes.
whatever.
Oh, Game of Death? Yeah.
Game of Death,
And
thank
then,
you.
and then when they played the Super Bowl, remember that episode?
Yes.
That song.
I still love when SpongeBob ripped his pants.
Oops, I ripped my pants.
Memeable.
Let's get into some Netflix news because there's quite a bit right now. I'll save the big stuff. Hold on for a minute. But at first, Netflix is 2 new shows that I know one has been referenced on this podcast, maybe not the second one, but they took an old live action show and are turning it into an anime, Ultraman.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I just watched the trailer for it today.
They just dropped the trailer for it. I haven't watched it yet. I just saw that and I was like, I have to bring that up.
It's a show.
It'll be an Ultraman anime.
And it's a show.
It's going to be a show.
Yes, I can
Yeah,
watch the
it's
trailer.
going to be a show. So technically you can watch the trailer. And then they're taking an old anime and turning it into a live action series. And it's one of the few anime that I've actually watched and enjoyed, Cowboy Bebop.
Oh, yeah.
I saw that
So
today.
live, and I think that could be really fun.
There's
So
many people
both
that
of these
love that.
are pretty announced, no casting or anything that I know of yet as far as that goes. But I think I will probably watch both of those. I don't know about you guys.
I'm definitely watching the Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah,
I think I would watch the Ultraman first, maybe. But
Ultraman drops April 1st.
I definitely want to watch. How was the trailer?
It was good.
Was it?
Super pumped about it. Yeah. It's hard to define the animation style that they're going with. It's, oh, man, how am I going to put this? It's like almost like a rotoscoping, but
Oh, so it's not like traditional anime.
more specific. But it is and it isn't. It's got a very
Well, it is or it isn't.
CGI quality to it. Man, there's so many different styles. It's hard to really put in one category, but yeah,
For
I like
sure.
It, though. I like it.
What's funny is that I'm like the only one here who really watches a lot of anime.
Yes.
And I've seen a lot of live action renditions of shows.
Sure.
I've sort of been on the downfall of that. I'm not really into them yet. It really disappointed me, to be honest. With the Ultraman, I don't know how I missed that.
I'm really surprised.
Yeah, I
I'm
did too.
really
I didn't go on the
surprised.
internet for like a couple of days,
Yeah, I guess, man. Maybe it just sometimes you miss shit, but
No,
yeah, I'm that surprised me too. I thought for sure you'd have more to bring to the
I'm
table
so
than
hard
anybody
right
on
now.
that one.
Yeah, no, it just popped up on my YouTube feed. And I was like, yep, okay, checking it out. I was like, this is legit. So yeah, check out the trailer.
I have so many of those old DVDs, man. The Ultraman.
I know. I gave you some of them. So yeah, that's all I got with that. I bet you guys can guess what the big Netflix news is.
Cancellations?
Yeah.
Just the one so far.
Mm.
Well, it added.
In case you guys haven't been following or paying attention, Daredevil has been canceled, unfortunately.
Oh, that's crazy. And I heard so it was funny because last podcast we talked about how they submitted the script for season 4, and this podcast we're talking about how it's canceled.
And it looks like just with that Disney's own streaming service, I feel strongly that Netflix is just canceling every one of Marvel's Netflix shows.
Well, here's
in lieu of that.
what I read, and this is according to comicbookresources.com, said Netflix's relationship with Marvel has become strained, in quotes. The cancellation was also chalked up to creative differences, in quotes, and the company's inability to strike a deal, particularly in regards to each season's episode count and the massive price tag they incurred.
Sounds like Disney wants a lot more money to have it. Have
Or
the
Netflix
show.
does because they need the money. But they're saying more or less have confirmed even though canceled, the series are going to remain on Netflix for many, many, many years to come. So you can go back and watch the old ones, and it will not be moving forward on Disney Plus.
Oh, darn. Okay. The series won't be moving forward because I would hope that they would at least keep a lot of the actors like Wilson Denario as Kingpin and those guys.
Vincent
forward.
D'Onofrio?
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yes.
Who did you say Wilson Denario?
I don't know
He's
what I
not Benedict Fraser batched.
Thanks, man.
What?
I think he's making up names now, just like I probably did. But yeah, I would hope that a lot of those characters would move forward and somehow be spun into different either shows, like we had talked about how Iron Fist and Luke Cage would be like Heroes for Hire, or some kind of way like you'd see Daredevil.
That's what I'm hoping for.
In PG-13 stuff.
Too, because they haven't necessarily pulled the rights from Punisher, hasn't been canceled yet. Surprisingly enough, Jessica Jones hasn't been canceled.
It's because
yet.
they started shooting them and they're going to come out. I think those are going to be canceled right after.
You think so? Even before they're on there, like, hey, it's done, but just to let you guys know.
Yeah, we're going to push this out here and let you watch it because they're going to follow through with it. But I think they're done after that.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't think I want it to be done, but I guess it's out of our hands.
Yeah, we don't get a say. We're just the fans. What are you going to do?
Just a couple of douchebags.
Just a couple of balls along for the ride.
PK thoughts?
Just one big dick. I don't know. I'm just trying to fit in here. What are we talking about?
So no, okay. Cool.
Yes.
Okay.
That's all I got on that. I don't know. Yeah, unless you actually do have any other thoughts on it, Paul.
Mm-mm.
Guess we'll keep an eye on it and see how it goes.
Yep.
What else do we got? Oh, this one I thought was exciting. Pretty short little bit here. There is going to be a Blade Runner animated series on Adult Swim. They partners with Adult Swim and Crunchyroll. 13 half-hour episodes based off Blade Runner 2049 specifically, I guess. And it's like a lot of the same writers from Blade Runner. There's that Blade Runner animated movies prequels that dropped for this last one. It's the same writer, same director, same everything for the whole thing. It's going to be called Blade Runner Black Lotus.
How many director's cuts are there going to be?
Well, it's not, what's his face?
Mm.
I don't know, but probably 17.
We need Toonami back. Remember Toonami?
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it's going to be anyway.
So it's interesting. I'm kind of surprised Adult Swim in general. Granted, I think they're, Viacom that does Adult Swim? And they have a really good streaming service on their website, but I'm almost surprised they haven't tried to just take over and start their own massive adult animated streaming service. I guess it's kind of hard to complete with I wonder what the relationship is with Crunchyroll and Verve, VRV or whatever that is.
It just kind of depends, man. I don't know who gets the rights to it or whomever they have a better business relationship with. It's hard to know the ins and outs of this.
Well, I need you to know, Vic.
Only they know.
Okay, so this next bit of news actually segues perfectly into our next beer.
Woohoo! More beer, yay.
So we're gonna move up our I Tap That segment a little sooner in the show than we normally do. Mainly, so do you guys know what Thrillist is? Like a Mac culture magazine news site, pretty popular. Pretty high there, but
Who reads magazines anymore?
well, it's mostly online. They recently came out with a
Easy.
list that was their opinion of the best brewery. Ah, shit!
Oh, now it's contaminated. Jerry popped the beer and it
It fizzed over.
and,
It fizzed over.
made him pee his pants.
That's all right. Shit happens. But anyways, the
Okay.
50 best beers from each state. Not the 50. The 50 best beers, one from each state. Best beer from each state. Best brewery of each state. Sorry, I'm all distracted. There's beer all over me.
That's
Oh, you're fine.
situation.
So the brewery
can
that
talk
they
about
picked
Paul
from Idaho was Crooked Fence.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I was
Just to recap, Thrillist magazine has,
Thrillist. Yep.
has
Thrillist. Yeah.
has nominated or chosen, as a better term to use, Crooked Fence as the best brewery of Idaho.
Correct. They pick according to Thrillist each state's best craft brewery, and they said ours is Crooked Fence.
Interesting list. I wonder what their criteria was.
I wonder how much research went into that and why weren't we consulted?
Exactly.
Also true.
The fact that we weren't pretty much means the list shouldn't be taken too seriously.
I
agree.
Yeah, just consider it outright.
I do like Crooked Fence though.
No, they are good.
They got some good stuff. What we are going to be drinking here is actually from Crooked Fence. I think we mentioned it's their Idaho Amber. This is a red ale. We bought a 22, and it sits at 5 ABV with 25 IBUs. And I have no more information on the bottle, so I'm waiting on Vic to help me out. Crooked Fence is actually part of the Independent Craft Brewers Association. Got the little sticker bug tag on the label there, so super happy about that. And I also have no idea how much we spent on this beer. Well, maybe no. How much did we spend?
It was
Okay.
like $6.
Oh, that's not bad.
And we have a bomber, which is a 22-ounce bottle here. So I just checked the Untapped specificities, characteristics, and data. So we're looking at 620 total check-ins, 580 unique check-ins, and not a lot of disparity there. There are 11 check-ins total already. This is the second day of December, so about 10 people drinking this beer thus far this month on Untapped.
In the whole world.
It is 5% ABV, it is 30 IBUs, and has an average rating of 3.44 on Untapped, and this is derived from 531 ratings. So, this is actually a fairly well-rated beer. It's a little young, but it's a well-rated beer. It was added about 3 years ago, almost to the day.
How many chickens again?
580 unique, 620 total. So
That's not much for a 3-year-old rated beer. I would actually think that you usually would see more. I wonder if this is more of like a seasonal then for them?
I don't know if it's a seasonal or year round, but that actually doesn't really surprise me for an Idaho beer.
Yeah.
And it's Untapped, which
Maybe
sometimes
it
is a hard.
doesn't get out.
Yeah, and it's hard to make a judge on Untapped of how many people actually drink it. But I think that seems kind of a bit right. I'm pretty sure I've had this.
I have never had this
Beverage.
beer.
Oh, really?
Nope.
Huh.
I haven't had a lot of Crooked Fence beers.
Oh,
I find I bounced off of them pretty hard right when they first were super popular, and yeah, I didn't go back quite as often as I should have. I have checked out their some of their other stuff like their Trainwreck Red.
I like the. I was gonna say I like the Trainwreck Red a lot.
That beer is actually really good. Should be drinking a little bit higher of a temp. Yeah, it changes as it warms up, but
See, I'm honestly not sure if I've had this one either. It's not on my Untapped. That doesn't mean I haven't had it. I'm not the greatest at doing my check-ins. It's a dark amber, really. It's definitely not a red, but it is a bit darker.
it is a dark amber. Yeah.
There's some good lace on the side of this thing too.
Smells
So
pretty yummy, not too overly malty.
there's a little bit of sediment at the bottom, so if you are pouring at home, make sure that you leave a little bit at the very end.
Well, they do say it's unfiltered.
So pretty much all of Crooked Fence's beers utilizes an unfiltered water for their beverages.
That's interesting. I would like to know their philosophy behind that, which also means store this beer upright, don't lay it on its side.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I dig it.
Mm.
I can dig it.
Wow, that's interesting.
Wow, this is a powerful motherfucker, man. This
Yeah.
kicks you right in the teeth.
It's only 5% too.
This is roasty.
yeah,
Mhm.
roasty, caramely.
Reminds me of almost like a toasted
Malty.
marshmallow. Not sweet, but kind of that toasty, roasty.
That caramelized sugar thing that you get
Yeah.
with the smoke. Yeah.
Yeah, with the smoke, yeah.
What was
that's
its average on Untapped again?
3.44.
That's not bad. I like that. I'll give it a 3.5, and I would tap it.
I'm gonna go 3.25. I'll tap this
Nice.
in the winter. Yeah, I tap it in the winter.
Well, it's pretty much winter, so.
Be a good winter warmer.
I like it. It's getting me warm. A little bit of brulee, as you guys would say. 3.5.
Did you say goulet?
Goulet, Robert.
Goulet.
And would you tap it?
Oh, toe. I'd take it on a date.
Take it on a date? Nice.
See if I get lucky.
Maybe call it
I buy it mac and cheese.
We would be Facebook and Instagram friends.
back.
Twitter's for old people. We just had this conversation.
We just had this conversation before this show started, and
Oh, that's great.
apparently I'm the only Twitter's for old people.
Oh, I'm gonna figure it out.
No, you're good. You're good. Twitter's for old people. I'm just vamping at this point. I'm waiting to hear Vic's rating.
I'm gonna do I'm gonna triple down 3.5 on this. I definitely tap that. I hope that it taps me. I think this is a very good beer. I do like Crooked Fence's unfiltered approach. I think it has as a brewery, it gives them a very unique style, and I really appreciate that they do that.
You don't think it's just like a cost-cutting method?
Probably one, but I think
I
when
think
you
that should be our first question whenever we interview
Well,
them.
here's the deal, though. I think that when you filter it, you lose out on minerals and the taste of the water. So
Very
we're
true.
getting a real taste of Idaho when we are tasting Crooked Fence's beer. So I can almost see why Thrillist Magazine went with Crooked Fence to choose this as one of the best beers of Idaho, because this is a great representation of Idaho due to the unfiltered approach.
That's cute.
And
I don't
I'm
know.
get weird about it.
I don't know how I feel about that. The representation of Idaho.
Why?
Because it didn't come from a white man.
No, nothing like that. No, it's more like I still don't feel. I've been here in Idaho for like 10 years now. I still don't quite feel like I'm at home yet.
I mean, only in the sense that
You live
if
in fucking Nampa.
If
Yeah,
you were
that's
if you were
true.
to taste Idaho with the unfiltered use of their water, this is a great taste of Idaho.
I would
Okay,
say sorry,
okay.
Nampa, but I'm
No, you shouldn't be.
not.
Beef factor interferes with everything out there.
Right, exactly.
You have to live on the correct side of the wind.
Well, and that you're either on the sugar beet factory or that lactate factory
Oh,
out
yeah,
there
yeah,
too.
yeah.
The lactose one that fucking stinks too.
That's way north though. You're fine.
Well, I said because when I went to CWI, I would drive by that every day. I went to class.
Mm-hmm.
That was just my favorite part. Last part of news before we wrap up this segment or the news bit is PBR in Miller Coors.
Oh, we have a verdict.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine. They're just gonna keep going. They
Yeah.
settled it. They figured it out. They're gonna keep brewing for them.
So there is no news on that.
No.
Okay.
Well, the news is
Well-
PBR is not gonna die.
Yeah,
It's just gonna keep on keeping on.
PBR is still being produced by Miller.
I'm kind of surprised Miller just gave in. I think one, they realized people drink more PBR than their own beer, and at first maybe that stung them. But when they've got to make some profit off of that. I didn't really look into what the reworkings were, the contracts, because ultimately I don't fucking care. I was kind of hoping it died, like a
Yeah.
small bit of me.
I really did too, man, honestly, but they continue to thrive. Fuck you, college kids. Get better tasting beer.
Right.
That's got to be another thing that we go do, you guys. Is just go and go out to a frat house or dormitory or something. I don't know, whatever we can find here in Idaho, and just, be like, hey, we're gonna host your party or something.
Supply good beer to them.
Yeah, and see what they say. Like, just get good comments and stuff like that from.
Seems expensive.
Oh, it does.
Well, we'll crowdfund it or something. I don't know.
We can be the party brigade.
Maybe we can pick a select group.
No dudes.
No dudes.
No.
I was wondering who was gonna go
Oh,
in first.
man. Does that wrap us up for news?
God
actually?
damn it, yeah, follow ruin. that
Okay.
that does wrap us up for news.
All right. Cool. So it sounds like our Idaho beer got tapped. That's great. Yeah, just proves. Yeah, Idaho keeps brewing more and more good beer. That's awesome. Where are we at for time, you guys? Anybody know?
Good. We're about 30 minutes, man.
Does anybody need to take a break?
Break.
Yeah, I think we'll take a break.
Break.
We'll be back right after this.
Okay.
Cheers, guys.
I gotta take a.
13.
Wow, I'm actually kind of astonished. You said there was a lot of news. You must have edited a lot out of the news feed then, because this is the shortest time we spent.
Well, and I'm trying to do. That's why I'm trying to be more conscious of this too, because I'm trying to keep it to where we're done in a half hour with news
Good.
and everything. So that's why I'm trying to cut it off a little bit faster. So
People,
I get really irritated when I don't bring my timer out.
I'm gonna be buying a timer for us, a big digital clock and stopwatch thing. I just gotta do that. People out on there on YouTube, you guys are getting a little inside baseball and behind the
Three of
scenes.
you that are gonna watch.
Sure. Fast forward, it's there in the archive. Yeah, maybe 5 minutes,
Until you see
maybe
us sit,
6.
until you see us sit down again.
Yeah, that'd probably be good.
My dick.
What?
They were just seeing crotches for a moment.
Yeah, that's not. This is focused.
There we go. I couldn't do that during the show. It was,
What,
it was
you
too
couldn't?
loud. Yeah, it was over here, and I was like, oh shit. It was so loud.
Hmm. I was actually wondering if we I know we got these, and I know you've got these handles. Did we ever want to look at possibly getting a tripod one that extends out over thing, or are we always good when I have them on the table, the tabla?
I'm not too sure.
Mm,
Because these are, I feel like these would be just meant for the table. I also ordered, it's like a mic that I can connect to my actual phone and take video or do interviews and stuff.
Sweet.
And I'm looking to get the lapel ones as well. Usually it's just for one person, so it's easy to do a one video thing. But with multiple people, we kind of need that mic. But what you're doing and what JB has been doing, our phones and stuff, and your recorder has been working pretty well.
I need to listen to the recorder. I listened to it on just the file that I have, and it sounded all right. I mean, it actually was pretty quiet down there in that brewery.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Surprisingly, because our house was.
Well, I went before hours,
Oh,
so I mean it was
Sorry,
all
I
shut
missed
down.
that. Where was this again?
When I went and interviewed Evan at
Oh,
Heritage.
Heritage.
Yeah, I went at 1 in the afternoon.
Yeah, I heard that.
I basically said, I'm gonna go. Take some PTO here.
Nice.
Why? Personal reasons? Oh, you're seeing the doctor. Yep.
Yeah, sure.
So went and did that, and dude, that was a lot of fun.
It sounded fun, man. I'm almost jealous I wasn't there. It sounded real fun. It was a good time.
Yeah, I hope I can do more of that stuff.
Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. But PK was saying how he's gonna look at getting some lapel mics and stuff like that, stuff that can connect up to his phone for doing
Oh, cool.
road
yeah.
interviews and stuff too. And I'm
Nice.
thinking, all right, well that'd be cool. Cause yeah, I don't know what this guy's schedule is. You're slammed, but
Yeah.
we gotta look at what's coming down the pike for January, and think about maybe plotting out our next couple interview places. I'd like to do like one a month at least.
Okay.
If we can swing it too, but that's a lot of planning, a lot of prep. And we've got a lot of time. Like I was, like I could plan them out and get them done, but that's a lot. And
Yeah. Lost sound for a minute. I still fell.
Somebody literally just commented on our chasings on Facebook.
oh, cool.
Yeah.
One more ad right before I got to sneak it in. Who was it?
My buddy Matt Edgington.
Hey, speaking of that, real quick before we start again,
Okay,
because I know we're gonna
You bet, Matt.
probably start that. The Pepper Sack did. We should call him that on the show too. He did. He said something about the bike chase scene at the beginning of the first Matrix.
Oh, that was not.
I don't think that's the first Matrix. I'm not remembering that scene at all. I've seen all of them, but I don't remember any kind of motorcycle scene.
Kind of. I mean, not really.
I remember Trinity shows up. I mean, she's in the house, like running on the rooftop. She has a motorcycle helmet at the beginning, and she jumps up and then does they have that, panning video shot that became memed in Shrek and everything. But I don't remember there being I don't think it was a car chase scene in that.
I don't remember that at all. I would say with the second one. JB, guys, you did.
Yeah, I've seen that movie. I shit you not, probably 300 times, and I don't think that's.
Oh yeah, no. I got
I
gotta
typed
think
in. I'm just YouTube, and you might YouTube chase Matrix chasing, and the only one that pops up is the one where he's running and everybody's turning into,
Agent
Smith.
yeah. I think
he is confused with the second one.
yeah, it
Yeah.
has to be the second one when they're on the freeway and
Yeah.
they've got all these different CG GM cars.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I don't like
The
that
Matrix
scene.
Reloaded highway fights.
Yeah,
Yeah.
is because there's so many CG cars.
Yeah.
Although I do have to get it. One bit of news on that movie is they created their own freeway
Oh yeah.
out of an abandoned airstrip just to record that.
Yeah.
That highway scene. So
Yeah.
There is quite a bit that they of effort that they put into that. I'm pretty sure that they still shoot on that freeway as well for other chase scenes.
They're just getting their residuals now. They're like, well,
Yeah.
just Hollywood, come use this for your chase scenes.
basically.
Remember?
Well,
They just
costs
rent
so
it
much
out.
money, yeah.
Oh, the Wachowski siblings are so smart.
Siblings, that's a good PC term.
Yeah, the
They ain't brothers no more.
Wachowskis.
The Wachowskis.
The Wachowskis.
No, they were the Tchaikovskis. Now they're the Wachowskis.
Now they're the Wachowskis. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all. They looked weird before too. So. I mean, I don't know if they ever did much to improve themselves, but maybe in their own eyes, go for it. Do whatever you want to your own body. I'm not going to judge, but
Whatever makes you happy.
yeah. All right.
How we coming back?
Oh darn. Oh darn. We have too many. You might have to be selective. Please choose any kind of red.
Any kind of red. It's just as long as it's a red, guys. Any kind.
Because what we have that red and we have another amber too, right?
This is just an ale.
Is that the dead guy?
Well, it's a specialty ale. Dead guy specialty.
Oh.
Dead guy ale, whiskey barrel, aged in dead guy whiskey barrels.
Oh, and
Dead
that
guy
could be fun.
ale, aged in dead guy whiskey barrels.
And what's the last one that we have?
Chris got that one for us, friend of the podcast, Chris.
Oh, the barber.
The barber.
Oh,
And then I got the Fall of Troy Belching Beaver, which is the orange vanilla milkshake diva. You want to?
I'm jealous of your beer selection, sir.
I got
I've
some
been
good
holding.
ones.
I've been holding on to that Insaki Red. For
I do like
for
that one.
6
I've had-
months,
I've honestly, I drink that beer a lot. I really like that beer.
and so
Because
I'm like,
I get sixers of it all the time. There are 2 of these if you guys want to drink more, because this is going to be a pretty small sample. I only got one,
all right,
but I
it's a
just have to
16?
save some of it for Jessica.
It's a 16 ounce.
Yeah.
Do you want to, real quick, while we're on our break, do you want to go see if she wants to have her sample now? And
Well, I
then
can just-
that'll determine if we have it or not.
I can just save. I'll just have to remember to save some for her.
All right. Do we need to grab the other one then?
Yeah, probably. If we want, yeah, because this is.
Okay. False alarm. Facebook or YouTube. We're gonna go and grab another beer real quick. Although Jerry's gonna do it, so that way I don't bring on the wrath of his mistress.
Mistress.
Yeah.
That's the wrong word choice, isn't it?
Not really. I mean, girlfriend and mistress, right? She provides both functions for you guys. It's not like there's anybody else. What did he say?
I don't know how to respond.
Let me see what she thinks of that.
Knowing Jessica, she's gonna be spunky and be like, I ain't nobody's mistress. She's gonna be pissed at me. She's always pissed at me. That's okay.
Well, don't personalize.
Oh, I know. says the roommate. Don't personalize that. The Belching Beaver.
No, I'm just looking at some rando stuff here. Rando.
There are so many little inside things, and I'm been picking up on them over this past year. Like, you know, the HNL, the whole another level.
Yep.
Like, I got that one.
Yeah.
There's a couple other ones that I've got.
Yeah.
Yeah. That I picked up on. That one was new.
Organically, Paul and I have a very syncopist relationship where he can start something, I can start something. We'll finish it with a relative, how do I put this? Sing-song
I
style.
just like to sing.
Yeah.
No, it's all good. Like, I look at it in awe, and I'm like,
We just know how to compliment each other in a specific way.
like I kind of almost want to start writing them down, but a lot of times I'm hearing them like, and I'm not even on the show. So that got better as it got warmer. By the way, the crooked fence. It did get a little bit more bitter.
It did. You're right. Yeah, that's a good point, man. Oh my gosh, geez, you're blowing my ears up, bro.
Yeah, all over tonight.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry, not sorry. You dick weasel.
First one was an accident. That last one.
That's
At
fine.
least the last one was a little bit quieter. He didn't do it the third time. Now just watch. Oh, he did just put it in his ears. So
I'm in now, so.
am I? Oh, I'm doing two. Okay.
Yeah, I figured you could do half that. Half might make it a little bit easier.
Okay. I love this label. God, Puss and Beaver does some really good stuff. They are up and coming. Thank you for getting that out of the way beforehand. All right, so we're gonna go solid. We don't need any more breaks.
I think we should be
I think we should.
So are we doing our honorable mentions?
Is this 8.8%?
Yes.
Well, we're at 30 minutes at the end of the news.
I think with that time we can do 8 gems.
Agreed.
Fine.
Okay.
I was concerned because news can run to almost an hour at a time. So
Yeah, I've been trying to watch that.
I've been trying to
Well, and
watch how many
sometimes we can
questions
go
I
on
ask.
tangents like this. Out there wasn't. We could have done things, but I don't know well enough. Where it could have been like, well, let's
Holy
cast
fuck.
this show or let's cast that show.
8.8%?
Yeah.
Orange
I'm so
vanilla.
orange vanilla milkshake
I am-
double IPA, not a stout, not a porter. A motherfucking double IPA.
It's a dipper. Dipper, dipper, dipper.
So
Dig it,
this
dig
is
it, dig
Okay, there you go. You just kind of join in.
I think you made it a little weird,
No, there's a. I'll have to show you the
but it's just the shining.
BK. Every episode. At least that one was recorded.
Oh, I've already called you racist once on page.
That's right. I gotta up my game. Start calling you what was it? It wasn't a junkie. It was it wasn't a crackhead. It was a.
Seems kind of harsh, man.
Yeah, I know, you jumped it up a notch, man. Yeah.
It
Or
was
someone else is
a.
popping. One of you two. Paula's say like I don't know something. One of you two popped.
Pussy. Say me.
Keep going.
Pussy. Popping. Punches. Pop socket.
Hello? Is it me? Did I pop?
No,
Again?
these two. Shut up, Will.
Pussy, punching, pussy, punching.
I think it's Ryan.
Push.
No, okay. I don't
Is it
know.
me? Is it me? Pussy.
Is it me?
Maybe it was just both. See, it is you.
Nope, he just did that. Yeah.
Is it Will that's popping?
Yeah.
Yeah, so somebody's popping.
Well,
I'm always loud.
It was the loudness of it because
That
it's always loud.
just
Yeah,
means
it's
you have to
fine,
be quiet for the rest of the show.
All of us?
Shut up,
my
Stoner.
God.
No, just
That was
Will.
what it was. It was Stoner.
Good one. Oh, it took you that long. Nicely done.
No, I just heard it. It was loud. It was totally big.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
totally pop.
And then when everybody's talking, every sound is combined. It's like,
Oh, pussy.
yeah.
Okay, try to save like that much of it in that one. Don't pour the whole
You
thing.
saved that much.
Well, I'm gonna both.
Oh, okay. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
All right.
Just a little like that much in each one.
A
A
swirl.
little bit more than a swirl.
Okay. A couple swallows.
16. So.
Couple sips. We need to get back because they don't know what we're doing. Now you popped.
Let's
Hey, how we come back?
Vic was not paying attention. I counted this down with my fingers.
Oh no, it wasn't. I was
Okay.
looking, sorry. Yeah.
All right. Coming back in 3, 2, 1.
Wait, who's bringing us back?
No,
Is it
fine.
me? Is it you? No, just kidding. Hi, everybody. Thanks for sticking around. Let's drink some more beer.
Heck yeah.
And then we'll get into our chase scenes. So these guys legitimately have become one of my favorite breweries. Have not had this one. Very intrigued though. This is their Fall of Troy by Belching Beaver. And this is the Orange Vanilla Milkshake Dippa Double IPA. A fucking IPA, not a stout, not a porter. I've never had a milkshake IPA. I am kind of excited to try this one.
I've had milkshake IPAs. I have not had one that's been orange. The idea of orange and vanilla, anything orange and milk mixed does not sound good to me, so I'm a little cautious on this.
Really, like an orange creamsicle is one of my favorite things on the planet.
Well, yeah, but that's different. Like, I'm talking like orange juice and milk mixed together would just be bad.
Probably.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that being super awesome. But I think this will be super awesome. It seems like, or maybe it won't be. Paula
This would
and
be
I.
the first one from Belching Beaver I think that we might have had that wouldn't be great. So
Maybe.
there's the chance they could break this. They could break the streak. Combo breaker.
Didn't we get like an orange cream nitro or something? And it was garbage.
Yes, it was shit.
So hopefully this won't be that way. Did I tell you guys? I think I told you about it. I almost picked up a beer from these guys that I thought was a great name. It was Luke, I Am Your Lager.
Yeah.
But it was 3.4%, which is just criminal.
Huh.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Why would you
This
do that?
this
Why
on
would
the
you-
other hand is
Like Utah beer.
8.8.
Yeah, 8.8. Well, it's a double, so you know it's going to be good. What does it say on the can? Paula?
It says for our 6-year anniversary beer, we're bringing back a tasting room favorite that had a dubious beginning. Let's just say it was a mistake. Troy's mistake, which proved to be a happy accident. This mosaic hop-laden Dippa is smooth and juicy with notes of orange and vanilla. Troy is hereby inducted into our Brewers Hall of Shame, alongside other legendary brews, Ivan the Terrible and Josh. Damn it.
Okay, that's good.
I think this actually probably will be good. I'm actually kind of excited to drink this.
It smells like, at
Hear
first,
that
it
story.
does smell super duper hoppy, and then just kind of keep
Yeah.
going, and then you really get the orange and vanilla.
Okay. Maybe. I don't know. Let me get a taste here.
Ooh, good lord, yeah, it's a mild citrus on the nose and the aromatics, but then when you taste it, you get that creamsicle sort of vibe to it, like right
Holy
off the
shit.
bat.
It is amazing. It is totally orange creamsicle.
Wow.
Like, yeah, exactly how Vic described it. You get the blast of hops, and then it's like it just magically turns.
This
into
is like
creamsicle
everything
in
I
your mouth.
wanted that nitro to taste like, and they
Exactly.
all failed. This did not fail.
Kicking ass.
Oh my gosh, this is so good. These are pints. They come in 4-packs at Brewers Haven. They're, I think it was like $14.65, $14.95 around up to $15. A 4-pack for a pint. So it's not cheap. But this is a special beer.
It is a very special beer.
This is, yeah, we're at 8.8%, especially with the way it sits. It's not going to be an all-day drinker, but this is a great.
Well, there's no booziness.
Oh my gosh, no.
There's no booziness.
Crazy.
You do not taste the liquor, or you don't have that kind of burn at all.
Man.
It is incredibly smooth. Anybody want to go first on our rating? Are we there yet? I'm going to go back for more. It's good.
I'm ready. Yeah, somebody can rate it. Go for it.
I believe this milkshake brought all the boys to the yard,
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the yard.
and it's like it's better than.
And I'm not even a boy. I'm a man.
I'm
still in that
sprung in the yard.
Now you're a man. I would give this my books. I would give this 4.25.
I love that rating. I was actually thinking, I was right in between a 4.25 and a 4.5, but I'm gonna do a 4.25.
Okay, yeah, you can't read it because you're too far away. I had 4.25 as well, written
Oh,
down.
I figured that's what you were gonna
Okay,
say.
yeah,
Are
that's
we unanimous on that?
I don't know.
425 on my end.
Yay!
Oh,
Dang, this is a really fucking good beer, man. I am super surprised. Said I was excited but tentative, but of course Belching Beaver can do it.
oh man, I'm just so shocked still.
It's a
so,
great
so
beer.
good.
I'm gonna hit some Untapped numbers here.
Oh
So,
yes, please.
Untapped has us at 965 total check-ins, 446 monthly check-ins on average. It was brought out approximately in 2 years ago on Untapped. It has an average rating of 4.02, and that is derived from 811 ratings. There's no IBU count on this one.
I was looking for one on the bottle. Did you see one if they had it on their website? I don't know if we.
It's a tough one to look down. The closest I can get to this is an orange vanilla IPA, which I think is what this is derived from.
Oh, this is the double of it, and
Yeah.
that's 45.
Because this beer is not marketed on their website at all, which I find to be very strange. I checked everywhere. I don't know.
Interesting. If we go with the first one, I would assume it's also a seasonal
I don't know.
because it says seasonal on the single IPA on here.
On the can?
No, on the website, on the Belching Beaver website, it says availability seasonal under this beer. So I assume this is also seasonal.
I hope so. Yeah.
It goes from 6.9 to 8.8 from the single to the double. It has the single at 45 IBUs. So let's guesstimate this is 65. I don't know where that number comes from, but let's pretend.
I think your math is right.
Shoot from the hip today. Yeah.
I mean, where else are you going to shoot from?
The dick.
I don't know. It thrusts with the hips.
That is so interesting that it was an accident. I'm really curious what the accident was. Like, that just has me curious all over the place.
Gonna carry us all over the place.
So cute.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Well, let's get into our favorite chase scene.
Oh, heck yeah.
This was an interesting one. I was actually kind of surprised, especially with our fight scene. We had some pretty big diversification within that. With this one, we got some pretty dope shout outs from the brew crew, but what we wanted to bring to the table, surprisingly similar.
Yeah.
Surprisingly.
We were able to guess each other.
Vic and I almost got in a fist fight because of it. It was intense.
Yeah. Vic ended up winning that.
Hey, what up?
Doubtful.
So I guess, as always, we'll do a quick honorable mention, and then we'll do a slightly less quick favorite.
Yep. We're gonna go over our shout-outs though first, right?
Of course.
Okay, cool. First one that came up via Facebook, and I don't know, do we have the Instagrams loaded yet?
Give me a second.
Okay, the first one was actually from Carol Clark on Facebook, and she chose Death Proof. Great scene.
Coral.
Great scene.
That is Coral.
What I
Coral,
appreciate
sorry.
about that in particular is that it was all women handling the stunt work on that one, which I think is super awesome.
Well, not just that, but old Zoe, what's her name? The stunt double in that one, the New Zealand chick. She's a legit badass, dude. That race at the end, plus it's inspiration from another great movie that kind of inspired all chase scenes. What was that movie? Thank you.
Kowalski.
Kowalski was pretty freaking great. So yeah, I absolutely love Death Proof. It's a great movie. It's a weird one for me because it was one of the first times I remember seeing Kurt Russell as a bad guy.
Oh,
It was
really?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was weird to me. I don't like Kurt Russell as a bad guy. It makes me uncomfortable.
If you like seeing, you know what would restore your faith is watching him in like the Christmas Netflix special.
Have you
things.
watched that?
No, but my kids are wanting to, and I'm like, no, not yet.
Not yet.
I want
I'll
to watch
get
it.
there.
I want to watch it before they watch it.
Just watch Sky High.
Oh,
God.
oh gosh.
The stunt person that Jared was referring to is known as Zoe Bell.
Belle, thank you. I couldn't remember. Yeah, oh no, she's a legit badass.
She's great, man.
And I like that she played herself in that one.
Mm-hmm.
But she's done a lot of stunt work for like Uma Thurman, Lucy Lawless, Kate Blanchett. I don't know who else. Yeah, she's one of the best stunt women in Hollywood for sure.
Okay.
For show. What else we got?
William Keeney says on the comedy front, the beginning of Super Troopers.
That's a great mention.
Oh man, I was
That is
almost
such a
gonna
great
mention
mention.
that.
So
Way
is
to
I.
be King.
So I like that. Keeney's a good dude.
Yeah.
He's part of the reason I'm so good at foosball. Him and I used to have legendary battles.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I'd love to see that. Yeah, bring that back for foosball. Awesome. Do we have insert loaded?
Yeah.
All right, let's do one of those, and I'll come back here.
Our buddy Daniel, Glass_Daniel, went a little nuts on there, but he did bring up quite a bit of good ones
Leave that one until the end, but yeah,
on
go for
there. But I like the one that he said was Dirty Harry movies in San Francisco, and then really any chase scene in San Francisco is fun. And he's got a great point. There are a lot
He
of
really
movies
does.
with really great chase scenes in San Francisco.
Yeah.
I know another one on Facebook. I say Matt, my buddy Matt Edgington, done judo with. He's a great martial artist. He brought up Bullet with Steve McQueen, the San Francisco chase scene in there, and that's a fucking legendary one. So, and I didn't think of that, but we could almost probably do it. Or I wonder if there was a top 10 list somewhere of just like best San Francisco chase scenes.
Oh my god.
If not Bullet's probably right up at the top, along
Dude,
with
Bullet, it's revered.
it is
Yeah.
it's on the it probably makes top 5 in almost every chase scene
You know, I'm
list.
saying top 2, no matter. Yeah.
Yeah, it is
I
up
mean,
there.
Steve McQueen changed the game
He did.
when it came to chase scenes and
He did.
stunt driving and all that. Dude.
The wheelman
Almost none of these we would even have.
technique that he used in that was unprecedented.
Yeah.
So yeah, totally changed, inspired many more movies like Drive and other stuff. Plus, yeah, like you were saying,
He got his own Mustang out of it.
Yeah,
I mean, come on.
Yeah. They're still producing.
That they still produce.
Amazing.
Cool. We also we got this from a couple different people. We got this from John Wilkins, my good buddy, and also Peter Campbell.
Friend of the show, he's been on.
Yeah. Says John Wilkins says I'd have to say Ronin has my favorite car chase.
So your buddy did that, and then Pete did that.
Yeah, you
And
just said Ronin. Yeah.
I legitimately never heard of this movie. And so I was like, whatever, Ronin chase scene on YouTube. It's like a 7-minute chase scene. You've got, shit, who's all in this? It's so 1998 is when the movie came out, but it looks like it takes place in the
Robert
70s-ish. De Niro's in it. I remember the dad from the first Pirates of the Caribbean, Keira Knightley's dad. He's in it.
Mhm.
I can't remember the name of the woman, but she's really good. I want to say Jodie Foster, but that's super wrong.
No, that's not her.
But holy shit, it's not her, no. It's just a Jean Reno. That's her name.
No, it's not.
Jean Reno. Or
He's
no,
in
that's
it. Her name is Natasha McElhone.
Sure.
She plays
Okay.
Deidre.
But anyways, it's just absolutely great. Tight driving. You can tell it's all like, again, it was 98, so it's really, they didn't use any CGI in it. You can tell there's no CGI.
Can we just say I love all car movies that don't use CGI?
Oh, absolutely.
Love it.
Absolutely. And this looks like it takes place in Europe, France or Italy. I can't tell. I'm in American swine. But dude, it was intense. Like it was, I don't know anything else about the movie whatsoever, but that chase scene, so gangster.
Yeah, it's up there. It's kind of one of those movies that gets called out a lot on all the lists, and for good reason.
I get it just from that little bit. So like I said, if you don't know what this is, like I did, literally YouTube Ronin chasing.
Just go watch it, have it on in the background. It's
Enjoy it, have fun.
Great. And then we got one that just came in, like right before we started recording. Maybe we even got an alert that we were recording. Like, oh crap, I need to put my request in. But I don't have it on my list.
No, that was the one I was saying, Matt Bullitt. That was what he
Okay.
brought up the San Francisco chase scenes on that.
Okay, great. In that case, I think the last one that we got is our good friend Matthew Campbell said the bike car chase in The Matrix. We determined that this was actually the second Matrix.
I think that's what he's talking
We
about.
determined, that was Reloaded.
Reloaded.
Yes. This was actually kind of interesting because the Wachowskis actually created their own freeway system on an abandoned airstrip in order to create this scene. So
It's amazing.
That's so cool. They did such a good job. We do have a few more on Instagram that I want to shout out real quick. Cibaroni, he brought up Blues Brothers. Blues Brothers chasing is one of the best, most fun chasing and movies in general. I fucking love the Blues Brothers, and I'm really glad somebody brought that up.
Yeah, I like that because it's super fantastical, but the realism with the practicality of the stunts just made it just over the top.
and they
It's
wrecked
great.
like 65 cars and went
Oh.
through like 45 stuntmen.
Absurd. Yeah, it was amazing.
We also got Terminator 2 Canal Scene,
Which is great. That's
Smokey and the
brilliant.
Bandit, Blade 2 when the car comes out of the truck. I don't know what you're talking about, Daniel. You're crazy.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then,
Oh,
yeah, I
I
think that's
do.
pretty much it. And then the other one, I think somebody else brought up. I swear somebody brought up, but I can't find it. Was Starsky and Hutch
Oh, with the grand
with the newer, or not Starsky and Hutch? Good gracious, sorry, the General Lee
Oh,
Why are we
with
going
Sean
on
William
this?
Scott and Johnny Knoxville.
The Dukes of Hazzard.
The Dukes of Hazzard,
Okay.
thank you. The freeway scene on that one where they did the giant jump off of it onto it. So but now I can't. I swear somebody brought that up, but I can't find the comment. Maybe I made that up.
You're just drunk.
Oh yeah, but I swear somebody.
And who was the other guy that posted a bunch of stuff?
That was Daniel.
That was
That's
Daniel.
okay.
Yeah.
I posted about 15 fucking
Yeah, thank you, Daniel.
Dude, it was so funny. My phone was blowing up.
He also apologized. Which is nice. I'm like, sorry,
Yeah, he doesn't need to. I loved it,
Great.
dude. It cracked me
He's
up.
like, I gotta get all these out before I forget. The one last one that Daniel brought up actually was great, and I commented on it. So if you've seen the comment, you're going to hear it again. He brought up the Dark Knight Joker scene. Now, this particular scene, I'm really glad that Daniel brought this up because it is actually revered as one of the worst editing chase scenes and action scenes in all of cinema history. For as well revered as The Dark Knight by Christopher Nolan is, it is one of the most hated scenes out there. And I do not understand why all of these well-educated film critics that go and see all these movies cannot understand what Nolan was trying to do in that scene. So,
I honestly didn't know it was hated.
okay, well, it was.
just from an editing standpoint,
Yeah.
they edited it. It was a poorly edited scene, but as we'll can go on to describe it, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Continue, Will.
Okay, so one of the biggest video essays that was out there about hating this shot, there's this video out there, and if you Google it, it's called In the Cut, shots in the dark, and then in parentheses, night. So shots in the dark night, right? And the guy who's critiquing it goes over a lot of the basic editing rules of shooting action scenes and shooting a movie. And we're not going to get into how deep and everything that was, because that's like a whole different podcast. You can go and I implore you to watch the video yourself. But he does have really good points about all of the rest of the action movies that we've already made and the ones that we're going to name, in that they all kind of follow these basic rules, except for, the Dark Knight movie. And a lot of those are basically you never let the viewer have a sense of spatial confusion. And what this means is that things always kind of travel in the same direction, and that you kind of know where things are. So if somebody's driving a car and it's a point of view shot where it's shooting them driving it, and you see the wheelman turn to the right, you're gonna know what he's turning into. If he's turning onto a street, or if he's gonna hit another car, where he's going. And this is actually called sensation without orientation. And what it does is it's basically used to create spatial awareness in a scene. Excuse me. And the cool thing about The Dark Knight is that it knows all of the rules and it breaks those rules. It confuses you on purpose. That is the whole idea behind the Joker in those scenes, which is just brilliant in my opinion, that he's using an editing technique to give you this sense of confusion about an anarchy about what is going on. And somehow he knows enough to break the rules at certain points and to follow them at others, so that the scene is still coherent and you still have a feeling of what is going on, and you're still gripped and glued into the action, and you're not completely confused and out of the loop. Anyways, that's my whole reasoning about why The Dark Knight is great. That video section is great, and because it works within the overall arcing theme of the movie. But that being said, the rest of these movies, they all have great spatial awareness. They all kind of have that great editing shot where they, can pan to one side and show you a reveal about maybe even something that's yet to come that you're going to see, and it's going to set up a little action point. So just wanted to give Daniel a shout out to that and thank him, because it is super important. You wouldn't have a lot of these great action scenes if not for the amazing editing that we've done.
Yeah, I think it is interesting that people shit on that, because there's only really one scene in that movie that I have a problem with, actually. But the chase scene is not one of them. I've always thought it was really well done. I like the chaotic nature of it. And I think it shows, I don't know, Christopher Nolan didn't do anything not on purpose in that movie.
Yeah, 100%.
And he's one of my all-time favorites.
Well, yeah, and really to speak to Will's point, which was he wanted the viewer to feel confused. He wanted the sensation without orientation, which is, I want you to understand that shots are coming out the door. I don't want you to know where they're coming from. So in that sense, I was completely following Christopher Nolan's idea and purpose with that, the way that he played that situation out. So I appreciate that Christopher Nolan edited it in a strange way, not in an action way. So I understand what this person was trying to do with his video essay on his breakdown, but I think that Christopher Nolan nailed it, in particular with the story on this one. So I liked it. I liked it a lot.
And I like that.
I like it a lot.
Cool. Enough on The Dark Knight. Let's move on. But that is good point. It's a good movie.
Thank you.
I like the Inception chase scene too.
So
Christopher Nolan. Yeah, it's pretty fun. Let's get on to ours though. Let's do a quick round robin and talk about our honorable mention chase scenes. Paula, go.
Okay, well, my honorable M is from Transporter 3. As you all know, I like ridiculous scenes, and in T3, Jason Statham has a fucking bomb attached to his wrist, and he can only be so far away from his car until he blows up.
Yep.
nice.
Isn't in every movie there's something attached to him that he can't stop moving or it blows up?
It's like Cranky's Chichilios.
Exactly.
Rock everywhere,
He still electrocute himself all the time.
He needs to. So in this particular scene, another transporter takes his car, and then he's like, "Oh shit, I'm gonna blow up." So he's chasing the car. He realizes he can't chase it by foot, so he steals a BMX bike. And this that motherfucker, he could be an X Games superstar. I swear to God.
Oh, easily.
Jumping over cars, doing grinds, and just doing random trips.
He's Matt Hoffman and Ryan Nyquist, man.
Oh my God, you just brought it up.
Wow, that brought me back.
I didn't know you knew your BMXers.
Fuck, I used to have a fantastic BMX, dude. It was great. I wanted to be one.
That brought me back to like being maybe 12 and watching the X Games on ESPN 3 or 2 or whatever, like
Okay.
in summer.
Everybody got pegs. You
yeah,
don't fucking
everybody
use
got
it. You
everybody.
didn't fucking use it. Your
No,
friend just rode on it.
keep going, Paul.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
great.
So he catches up to his own car on a BMX bike. he then proceeds to kick the other driver out of the car. He literally kicks him out of the car and says, "You're fired."
You fired.
You buy it.
He didn't blow up. He didn't blow up.
He did.
Jason Statham. All the while wearing a suit, obviously.
Of course.
I just love the Transporter series. I'm sorry, guys.
I love it too.
Oh no, I knew there's no way we can do a podcast about cars in any way, whether it's a race, a chase scene, an escape scene, whatever it may be, without Jason fucking Statham.
Jason T. Statham. The T stands for what?
Transporter.
Right.
The Transporter is actually one of the reasons why I bought the car that I drive.
Your Audi?
Yeah,
Of course.
Yeah,
Nice. Goddamn right, well, I love that.
it is one of those. Yeah, it's great. And you know what? That thing handles like a dream. It is wonderful. It's the best car I've ever driven.
Oh,
Goddamn right. Germans know what they're doing.
They're great at building cars and losing world wars.
Oh, ba-dum-bum.
Oh, they're good at starting them too.
Oh, ayo.
So what's your honorable mention? What?
I'm gonna wait just a second. Vic, can you do yours real quick?
My HM is going to be the opening scene of Baby Driver when Ansel Elgort is commanding the Subaru WRX Impreza, and he's got 3 other people in the car. He's got John Bernthal, John Hamm, and some hot Latin chick. I can't remember her name right now, but she's fantastic. And it's a fantastic scene. It's great. It's about a 6.5 minute chase scene where from the beginning you have bank robbery. They all get into the car, and Ansel Elgort's character, Baby, is just destroying cops left, right, and center. And it is a beautiful chase scene. Check it out.
What a weird name.
Ansel Elgort.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's solid.
But yeah, Baby Driver's legitimately great. It's just Darling is her name.
Okay.
That's the character.
In the
Yeah.
character. Her real name is Isa Gonzalez.
Oh, okay, good. I knew some that lady. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know what else she's in besides that. She is a looker though.
She's great.
That's such I fucking love this movie so much, dude. I love the driving in it. I love the music in it.
The driving is set to the music.
Pretty
It's
good.
like a music.
Oh, absolutely. I love that he has a different iPod for each like genre of music or decade or something. It's pretty great. No, I dig that movie.
No, Will nailed it. Like that, the chase scene is edited to the rhythm of the song that's playing.
Oh yeah,
God help me, I can't remember the fucking song that's being played right there.
in the
but
beginning of it.
yeah, it's beautiful
Okay,
though.
yeah.
Just the way the pacing happens. You get the beat of the pacing of the sequence even before you even see the scene, the first scene of the movie, and it's just a beautiful. It's a masterclass in editing.
It's awesome. It starts with the wipers, I think, on the like right before he's about to go. Yeah, it's awesome.
Oh, it's great, dude. I can't talk about that movie soundtrack enough, too. If you haven't heard it, check out the song Chase Me by Run the Jewels, featuring, I think, Big Boy. But that's the title song, kind of like the song made for the movie. It's badass. The music video is one of those cut to the movie and
Was
stuff.
this done by Edgar Wright? Is that right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, almost all of Edgar Wright's movies have really good soundtracks, or stuff that's incredibly
great,
to
dude.
the scene.
Well, and it's important that because it can be kind of a ploy to say like there's music and the soundtrack is really there to enhance the scene or whatever, and that can just distract from the overall point of the movie. But in this movie, every beat, every rhythm, every melody that's happening is directly complementary and in syncope as well to what is happening in the scene, and it's incredible. It's incredible. If you go down and break down those scenes, you will not be let down, and you will be incredibly fulfilled by the complexity of the scene that this is for those who are cinema lovers. So
Not
I
only
think
that,
it's
but
an
the
incredible
Wheelman work too. I mean, there's a reason why we chose to use a GIF on the old social media network, the Twitters, to highlight this episode is, and that was from Baby Driver.
straight up, and all that driving's practical, man.
Mhm.
There's no CGI involved in that, which I think is incredible. Like there were people actually doing the moves in this scene. So yeah,
Go check that
you're
out.
welcome.
I'm actually going to do mine right next. That's cool, Jerry.
No, it's not cool.
Or are you ready for another beer? Do you want
Then we'll do
Pour
the
it.
beer after the mentions.
to? Okay,
We'll finish
cool.
this
Cool,
round
cool. All right, so I'm actually going to choose. I was really close to picking The Rock, tearing down, through San Francisco with Michael Bay in a giant Humvee.
Speaking of San Francisco,
Yeah, I was
that's a
gonna
dope
mention-
scene,
I
dude.
was gonna
I
mention
love that movie.
Glad you
I
did. I'm glad you
really,
did.
really love that movie.
Dude, it's awesome. Like, you're having my Humvee is stolen. I don't want to dents or scratches or have your ass.
Your best.
And then John Connor just steals
Lose
the
this
thing.
to the best. Winners go home and fuck the prom queen.
Carla was the prom queen.
Really?
Dude, that movie, if you haven't seen The Rock, go see it.
That's great.
Yeah, so like I was saying, I was almost going to do that one, but yeah, it needed to be mentioned. I was on the fence until just now by mentioning it, but I have to give an awesome shout out. If you have surround sound at your house, go find this movie on, I don't know, wherever, and pop in this scene. In the Bourne Supremacy, which is the second Bourne movie. I think there's like 4 of them now, but
The best Bourne movie, I think.
yeah, this is the one with Matt Damon as Jason Bourne, and at the end he goes up against Carl Urban as like the Russian, I don't know, super spy, super soldier kind of guy, and they start going at it, and Carl Urban shoots Jason Bourne and like hits him like in the leg or something like that.
I think it was right in the dick.
Probably.
I saw it.
Matt Damon. Anyways, Bourne like pours vodka all over himself to stop the bleeding and clean the wound and everything. And then he gets in this car, steals this guy's cap, spits in his face, steals this guy's cap, and starts driving all over what I think is the Ukraine. I'm not sure. And just it is some of the most awesome practical car effects. This is the time of which the little GoPro cameras, the little HD GoPros, were like really starting to become super popular in movies. Like you see them a lot. Like it's almost like a cliche now, where you have the inside of a shot and you see the car coming towards the passenger window, and then it just like slams into it, and it's such a huge surprise. This movie was one of the movies that had a lot of that in it. But again, you do not lose any of the intenseness of the action scenes because the editing is so great. The cool part about this is that they go into a tunnel, and if you have ever seen any kind of chase movies, you know not to go into any kind of tunnel because it's a death trap. You know that there's something going to be waiting for you on the other side. You know that they can slam you into the walls, the other cars. Everything becomes, just horrible mess of a wreck in a tunnel, and it's the easiest way to slow you down is to slam you into a wall. The end of this car chase scene ends up in a tunnel, and at one point, Jason Bourne is actually in reverse, and they're gunfighting, and then he does this weird maneuver where he flips around and spins his car, then while doing so, bounces off of another car and throws the thing into drive, hits the back end of Carl Urban's Mercedes-Benz Suburban, and then he T-bones him, and then he just kind of rams him into this pole. And the sound and the spatial awareness on that whole car chase scene is immaculate. Everything follows around everything in even 5.1 surround sound. It is just insane. So go check that out.
Will do. That's a great
It's
sequence,
a
man.
great scene.
It's a whole great movie. Wait, is the second one I think the best one?
I think the second one is the best one. The third one picks up right after it, but the second
Or
one,
is
in my
maybe the
opinion,
third one the best one?
it's either the second or the third. The
The
fourth
second
one,
one with Julia Stiles.
they're all the first three are with Julia Stiles. The fourth one is garbage. Also has Julia Stiles.
The third one is when she's like with him though.
Yeah, is when they're kind of comrades when they're working together.
The fourth one's with Hawkeye. Isn't that right? Oh no,
Oh.
I guess well,
Maybe I'm thinking of the fifth one. You're right.
Yeah.
The fourth one is with
Jeremy Renner.
yes, Jeremy Renner. Not a bad movie. Not a good Bourne movie.
Not a good part of me.
It's,
It's not a bad movie.
but it wasn't bad. You know, Jeremy Renner, I think, did all right. And if it was anything other than a Bourne movie, I think it would have been a lot better received.
Yes.
Yeah. But it was all right. It had some pretty dope scenes. I like the opening when he's like diving into it. Anyways, okay, my turn. 21 Jump Street. Yeah.
Oh,
I said
really?
yes.
Okay.
Here's why. It's the scene at the end. So if you haven't seen the 21 Jump Street remake at this point, I don't know if I really want to explain it to you that much, so I'm not gonna. But it's a pretty hilarious chase scene at the end. Essentially, they're running from this drug dealer to whom they'll eventually shoot in the dick. But I can't remember. They're driving like a pink. It's like a Volkswagen Bug or something like that. It's not a great car by any stretch. But they're cutting and swerving, and they do things like first cut off truck hauling propane tanks. They're like, oh, it's gonna blow, and nothing happens. And then the next is just another giant hauler with a whole bunch of flammable ones. It tips over, so they think, oh god, it's gonna blow. Nothing happens. And then another one, they slightly clip this truck hauling a bunch of chickens, and it like putters over and pulls over to the side of the road, and then just fucking explodes. It's like massive 80 stick pile of dynamite explosion with a chicken coop, and I just love to
Created a
build up.
mushroom
And
cloud
then
with feathers.
exactly, and it's just the most ridiculous, hilarious chasing, and it's actually the driving it. It's legitimately really good. It's not very long. It's only like 4 or 5 minutes, but I love that humor aspect added to it. It really
Nice.
kind of sold the end of the movie to me
Nice.
before they shoot Rock Riggle in the
Yeah.
dick. So if you haven't seen the remake of those movies, I definitely recommend it. But yeah,
It's worth it just to see Rob Riggle get shot. in the
Not to take away from anything, I think we don't really Jim, but I do want to mention the other guys. We will have sex in your
Who will
car.
have sex in your car? It's free.
That Prius was a boss. It survived everything.
I love that movie, man. I was talking about that movie. I think just the other day, we had some guy come down to our store to help out. And I don't know what brought it up, but I was like, that is one of the best fucking comedies that has been made in the last 20 years. The other guys, that's
It's called the Soup Kitchen.
It's called the Soup Kitchen. Oh, Lord. Okay, well, on to our final beer of the night. This beer I've actually had in the fridge for a while. It was gifted to us for the podcaster video by friend of the show, Christopher Bentley of the Barber Story. This is the Rogue Dead Dead. It is the Dead Guy Ale aged in Dead Guy whiskey barrels.
Rogue actually, they create their own spirits and everything now. They actually have a distillery, and so they have a whole bunch of barrels and everything. And now yeah. So interesting thing about this that I'm actually very curious about is this is Rogue whiskey, and then barrels, and then they had Rogue Dead Guy, Dead Guy whiskey barrels, because they have a Dead Guy whiskey, and now they have their Dead Guy ale. What am I trying to say? Fermented, I guess. In the whiskey barrel.
Just on the back, Dead and Dead complements the flavor profile of our classic Dead Guy Ale with oak and vanilla notes from our whiskey barrels. A little simpler.
Yeah, but
Of
I mean,
course,
it's-
Rogue out of this one out of Newport, Oregon, established in 1988, almost as old as we are. Not quite though. Another 8.8% by volume. Brand new beer. This one just came out this year. It's a 2018 beer. Dope label. I love Rogue. They like, what do you call that? Silk print, where it's printed
Yes.
directly onto
Yeah,
it.
it's silk screen.
Silk screen. It's got this cool kind of shiny orange
That's
barrel with their skeleton on it holding the cup. So
that is a metallic silk screen, which is actually pretty expensive.
is it?
Yeah, you should
Okay.
totally make that into a glass.
Oh, I plan to. But I don't know. I think if I recall right, I think Chris said, because he knows we usually bring it up, this is a $10 bomber.
Damn.
Not too bad. I tried to give him $10 for it, but he wouldn't take it.
Thank you, Chris.
So of course, a big thank you to them. If you need a haircut, go check out the barber story.
Yeah.
Just
To
got
make you
mine
look
today.
handsome. He looks great. As
Very
usual.
handsome.
So yeah, I'm excited. I love Rogue. So let's go ahead and give her a drink and then pull her up on the untap. Ooh, that smells
Oh,
malty
yeah.
and powerful.
We just had the actual Dead Guy Ale on our Halloween episode not too long ago.
I think we did. Yes.
So this will be a really good compliment.
Yeah, I drink the Dead Guy fairly often. You know, it's not a bad one. It's one that sometimes if you're at a dive bar with a shitty selection, every now and then you'll get lucky and they'll have the Dead Guy Ale. And you're like, yes.
I really wanted to say phrasing after you said I drink the Dead Guy.
God damn it. Don't make it weird.
You always make it weird.
I do not.
Stoner.
Racist.
Love you, homie.
I know, it's great. So this is what they, on Untappd, they say it's a Bach/Maibach Heller Lindenbach. It does actually kind of taste like a Bach. They just say an L on the bottle, but I can see the Bachness to it, although it does seem a little maltier
Wasn't that the
than you would
Maibach?
normally get. Even then. But still not bad. It does, the heavy, it is, whoa.
Yeah.
It's there.
It hits you after a little bit. 8.8, you said?
Yeah.
Wow.
So same as the Fall of Troy. Not that
Okay.
they're comparable between the beers. They are vastly different beers. But same alcohol percentage. But man, I can kind of dig this.
This is starting to warm my face.
Oh my gosh, right? In my whole head is so, like, just everything's just like, yeah, this is if you've had this is a perfect beer for today. Like, if it's been a long, chilly, arduous day, a little irritated,
We had
just go
snow.
home, pop one of these up, take a slow, smooth sip of it, and it's just like, you know what? Let's be all right.
We had snow here in Boise overnight, and this is like sipping into a warm bath.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd fuck with this. It's a seasonal, what they're saying, available September, October. I've had this in the fridge for a few months now. I've seen it around a few places. I think it's worth it. It's got a 3.91 overall rating. What do we want to rate it as a team?
I want to hear PK. I see him scratching notes over there on his notepad.
God, I don't, but if we must.
I don't want to talk.
Are we at that point in the podcast already, boys? Really?
No, I absolutely agree with JD when he said I think it's a perfect winter beer. It almost calms you down after just taking that drink and then swallowing it. You know, it's just like, Are we looking at Dick? What are we looking at?
Nothing. Just keep going.
I agree. Overall, I want to give this a 4.0.
Dang. Okay.
I think it's worth the price point.
4.0. Excellent. Pause it right there. We'll just bring it back. If you guys got to pee, go pee, and then we'll just bring it back after that. That's fine.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I get it if you both have to.
You're
Get
right.
after it.
Yeah, I can't hold it
Oh,
up.
Then when I saw you popping up there, I was like, he either has a pee or I was like, he's not running out of battery. I see it plugged in.
Yeah. It's like, I got just.
If you need to use my bathroom, I'll go for it.
I will.
And by my bathroom, I mean fucking go outside.
Is that where you pee?
Yeah,
Is that where you pee?
usually.
Keeps the raccoons away. Not really.
Oh, god damn it. I just accidentally hit restart. Motherfucker. Like you fucking bitch. Hi, Evie.
I'll start. As soon as we come back, I'll be like, I'm going to rate this, and I'll just bring us back with that.
Yeah.
That way we have like a seamless transition.
Yeah.
Because I think they were kind of done talking about it.
Did Brian rate it?
Yeah, that was what he did. He rated it, and then he gave his sentence, and then he's like, I got Stop. I think you rated it a 4.0.
It's hard.
PK rated it a 4.0. I know what I'm gonna rate it. What do you? Yeah, wait. Dude, yeah. I think you and PK are like at that moment where you're like, I'm drunk. I'm good. Just sip it on this for the rest of the night, like, or something less. Yeah, the liquid truth didn't help us too much with that.
Okay. Well, then I've been drinking the Irish Death. I'll do it too. It was really slow, so I only drank 3 of those.
Ryan, you drunk?
No, like last episode was really bad because we were drinking Tripels and that fucked me.
Dude,
solid.
there are certain beers
Like,
I've found.
Well,
There are certain beers that will just like instantly like, oh, I'm drunk. I can't help it. I'm drunk. Whoa.
That episode was nuts because like when I was like just like applying the episode so that I could save it properly, like as I was rendering it, I fell asleep and passed out on my bed. Like it was absurd. I was like, and I'm out.
Yeah, I was there.
I've never been that wasted after a cast.
Really? Okay.
Well, this Tripel man, I was destroyed. After
Yeah.
that.
Like there are certain beers that do that. IPAs will still get me every now and then.
Yeah.
That's why I'm glad that like I haven't had to have so much in my sipper. But yeah, IPAs. I'm not careful. Like that orange Fall of Troy shit. That was gonna do me in. Like if I kept drinking that.
Dude, that's 8.8. Yeah, that's a scary beer. Like, that's a good beer.
You know, I literally write everything verbatim to what I'm going to say.
Do you?
Yeah.
No.
Because, yeah, just being too drunk. Actually, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of how I do it anyway.
I feel like I always talk over you. Go back
Talk
and
over me?
listen. Yeah. I go back and listen and I'm like, dude, he's gotta shut up, Will. PK was talking, he was making a good point, and
You're fine.
you added your thing, and then which is fine, but I'll stop talking after that. So
Oh, you're sure.
No, it's very hard. Like you have to not look at your mic, and we do that just because we want to talk into it. So you have to be careful not to do that because when
You
you're
can't
talking,
look here.
you'll
You gotta
interrupt
look.
each other. So you have to actually have a conversation. Look at people when you're talking. So you have to
And I've been-
That's why I'm always like,
you have to
and I've
keep your
been-
mic in a natural place.
and I usually keep good eye contact with Jerry.
Because he's right across from me, yeah.
Right, but
It's hard to
a
do
devil's
that.
three-way thing too. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You guys at the table. Oh, you're fine, bro. It's all good.
Yeah, I just noticed that when I look up and I observe the situation. So that's the only note I have.
Thank you. I will take it. I will take that note and I will sing it.
I really hope I used what was her hand towel. I really
For
hope.
to wipe your hands.
To wipe my fucking out of my hands.
Okay.
I wipe my hands out.
What are
Who
you?
does that?
I don't know.
I'm not a rich man.
I was like, what are you saying?
Wipe my ass with hand towel.
I know you don't.
Not Donald Trump. I broke him. I broke him. Yes.
Sucking hand towels. You're as fucking silk.
Only from the smallest gossamer worms that there are to wipe my ass with the silk handkerchiefs.
That was awesome. See, there you go. You just kind of,
all right. Yeah.
so whoever's dick's out, you just kind of compliment it. It's a good looking dick, man.
Vicky rated it yet?
What was the last beer? Oh,
The
sorry.
Rogue.
No, I didn't write it yet.
Oh, you didn't? Okay. You were gonna pause it.
We're pausing now. I think what Jerry was attempting to accomplish isn't like having to pause it without having to like take
Yeah,
a break in there.
Yeah, like cut it.
Yeah. So
I was first and you second.
now we're 11 minutes. I'm gonna have to look at this particular sequence again.
Yeah, just play it back and then you'll get your thoughts. I'm sure.
What's the name of this beer again? I'm sorry.
The Rogue Dead Guy Barrel Aged. It's
Dead and Dead, right?
Yes.
yeah. Okay. With all of the music people, I'm surprised that they didn't do a thing with Grateful Dead on this. I don't know, maybe Grateful Dead doesn't want any part of Rogue.
Well, Jerry's dead, so.
No more universe.
Dude, they have Dead and Friends. They're still touring. John Mayer is touring with them.
He's John Mayer.
Have you heard John Mayer play?
No, he's one of the greatest
Great.
guitarists of all time.
John
No,
Mayer's amazing.
he's fantastic.
John Mayer's great.
I
There
love
is no
John
great
Mayer.
Dead without Jerry Garcia.
It's true.
Yeah.
John
Yeah.
Mayer is an incredible guitarist.
No, I love Jerry. I love the Grateful Dead. I think.
So, trying to bring this back appropriately.
One of you two do it. Just talk about.
Yeah, just continue your thought.
I don't know what that.
Why don't you bring it back, Will? You just start whenever you're ready. You just start, Will.
Well, if he hasn't rated it, then it's not going to work.
Well, he wasn't up next anyway. I was the one who went first, and then he went my house
So-
after that.
I'm trying to remember, who was the last person talking? I think
You.
it was Jared.
No, it was
It
you.
wasn't.
No, it was Paula. And then I said, okay, let's break right there. So Paula,
Yeah.
at the end of his rating, so any one of us can pick it up just like we're going.
Yeah, and be like, yeah, well, this is what I think about it. Yada yada yada.
All right, I'll bring it back if that's what you think we are. But if
That's
you
what
need
I
to
know.
enter a break, then fine. All right, we're good. I'll just go.
I'll have to figure it out. Yeah.
I'll just go.
Just start like it's
Yeah, just count me in.
the swing keys and just count them down, Vic. That's all. Try not to snap again. It's Will's fault. Making me snappy.
You harlot.
Okay. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, man, I think I got to rate this a 3.75. It is delicious. It is making me very, very cozy right now. It embodies a Dead guy, only at like a higher ABV. It's kind of what my feel on it. I don't know if it's better. I guess it is.
It's totally different. It really is. It's surprisingly different.
Yeah.
Because I've had the Dead guy very recently, and I mean within the last few days. And it is a lot different. It's much maltier.
Yes.
It
Yes.
is warmer. Like you said, it's a whole different style of beer almost. But yeah, I could get down with this. I would give it. It's really a perfect beer for today. Like you said, so that almost makes me want to rate it a little bit higher than I normally would. But I'm gonna just give it a nice 3.75.
Oh,
I enjoy it.
me and Jerry are in cahoots over here.
Yeah, I
Alright.
agree with that. Nice top-notch rating. What do you think, Vic?
I think it's a good rating. I'm just going over the Untapped stats here. I don't think I read them off earlier. It is sitting at 8.2 alcohol by volume. It's at 40 IBUs. It's got an average rating of 3.91. It's got 8,462 total check-ins. And the 3.91 rating is derived from 7,381 total ratings. So that's a good amount. I'm going to go ahead and triple down on your guys. I think a 3.75 is
Yeah.
a great rating for it. It's good. It's malty. It's got great aromatics to it. And when I taste it, it's very complex on my palate. So I get a lot of flavors coming through on it.
I think it's a good fireplace beer.
Oh, 100%. But it's
Well
another
said.
time where we have a contradiction on Untapped. Because they say 8.2, so they're a whole 0.5% off because it's 8.8. I always trust the bottle over Untapped.
Agreed.
So, yeah, it's weird how you kind of see those contradictions sometimes.
But you were saying this is a brand new beer. It was for this year. That's a lot of check-ins.
This
too.
one says 2017, though, so maybe that was last year's, and they just kind of have a new version each year. So, in all fairness, maybe they just haven't updated the Untapped
Yeah,
since then.
I'm
too.
checking out their website. They have 8.8% ABV on there and 40 IBUs.
Well, how many times have we seen, though, where the bottle and the Untapped or the can and the Untapped were different?
all the
Quite often.
Quite often.
Who wants to start first with their favorite movie chase scene? I'll get it out of the way. Since we talked about realism in chase scenes, that seems
Yes.
to be one of our more favorite things as well. It should be, because it really takes you just to a whole different kind of vibe when there's no CGI.
Well, the physics are correct.
Exactly. It makes it so much more exciting. And the one for me that does it above anything is not just, I think, an absolutely stellar chase scene, but maybe the best video game movie as well, and that's Need for Speed.
Oh, well choice.
With the Mustang,
Oh,
again,
nice.
specifically. I love the Mustang that they build in it, that kind of one-off
Sports
Shelby
car.
GT American version of it. Fun cast in it. We got Idaho's own Aaron Paul.
What?
Aaron.
Go.
Dominic Cooper, bad guy in it. It's fun to see him as Dino Brewster. Imogen Poots, weird name. Hot girl.
Hot girl.
Kid Cudi's in it. Rami Malek before he was famous.
Before he was ready.
Yeah, Michael Keaton is in it. But again, just absolutely phenomenal driving with top-notch fucking cars. And, you know, I just want to talk about the respect I have for Aaron Paul because he worked and busted his ass to be able to legitimately drive these. I mean, these aren't your average cars. I mean, these are top-notch, powerful, exotic, super cars. Like
$500,000 cars.
Yeah, it's not one that the average person can get in and know how to handle. You have to know how to drive to do these things. And he really put in the work, and it's kind of a silly thing, but it really shows. I love Top Gear. I think a lot of us love Top Gear. We
Top
love
Gear, Grand Tour.
Big
Yeah.
Grand Tour, the new one. One of my favorite things that they had on Top Gear back in the day were the celebrities go around the track in the moderately priced car. They kind of race around it.
Yeah.
When Aaron Paul was on, not only did he win, he fucking dominated everybody else to an absolutely absurd level without a warm-up lap. He just went out there and tore it up. Dude, like, he's legitimately great. And then we've all seen the movie. Say whatever you want to add in with the chase scenes, but just everything about it, I love. I love how they have the rally driver, like the wingman on the side, help showing them where to go. Guy with the big truck, the gas refill with it. Kid Cudi in the helicopter. Great action. Plot-wise, it's definitely a video game movie.
So
But it's charming, it's fun, it looks badass, and holy shit, the driving in it is fucking legit.
dude, it's phenomenal. And I just want to piggyback on that. Like, the sound design in that movie is quite wonderful. And actually, it's one of a kind because the way that they captured the sound in the movie is they grabbed the actual engine from the actual cars and they did they just revved it up as high as they could and they did all the Foley for it.
Yeah.
From the
And we
actual
got some
vehicles.
cars.
It's
in
incredible. the
And
way
it's
they did
it's
the
not that
sound.
often that you go out and for a chase race movie, you would actually go out and resample, you know, for audio on that
Mhm.
kind of a thing. That
No,
yeah,
yeah.
you just don't.
It's all captured in moment in the show. It's incredible. Like,
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, you got Batman or the Vulture, whatever you want to call it. So, right? or Birdman.
Birthday,
Yeah,
God damn it, that's what I kept wanting to say Owlman. I knew that wasn't right.
You know, he's playing the DJ who's just, you know, telling the story. It's kind of like an homage to Vanishing Point almost. You know,
Thank
it's,
you.
just, it's
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's so cool. It's so cool.
And then your homage to the video game because his track looks like the old map that you would see on Need for Speed
Yep.
stuff. When they hit the nitro, you kind of get that. So I wanted the movie to be a little bit more of an homage to the video game, but they still hit it in the key points. But more importantly, again, the legit no CGI driving in that movie. I think there was CGI added in a few places just to make like the
Well, fire.
explosions bigger, the fire and stuff like that. But as far as the driving, there wasn't. In between, you know, these Mustangs, Pagani's, Lamborghinis, Bugattis. Which, oh God, now I want to watch that movie again.
I was waiting for Howard Stark to get his armor. And he's like, no, beat you, Tony. Won the race.
What? Because he had a Ferrari. Didn't he have a Ferrari in it?
Who?
Dino.
I thought he either had a Maserati or something.
He didn't have a Maserati. There
It
was
was
a
a
Maserati
McLaren.
in it. But it was the
yeah.
P1.
Yeah,
Okay, that's right.
He
That's
was a
right.
McLaren.
Nice choice. That's it.
Best
That's all I got.
video game movie I've ever seen.
I think so.
I mean, it's not House of the Dead?
No.
Yeah, movie shit.
It's not Street Fighter Legend of Chun Li.
Oh. my-
well, no, yeah, and I love that because I love that you mentioned that, Jared, because all the driving was practical. There was no CGI in that movie. Everything was done in camera.
I like how we're saying it's practical and it's a video game movie.
Exactly.
And one of the best driving movies
One
of
of
all
the
time.
best. And I love that they chose to do that. No, thank you very much for that. That was fantastic.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Yeah.
Who wants to go next?
Thank you. I'll go next. So my favorite chase scene is actually in the 2000 version of the movie Gone in 60 Seconds, which is a remake of the 1974 movie Gone in 60 Seconds. This movie, the chase scene I'm referring to is the end when Nick Cage's character is fleeing from the police in the 1967 Shelby GT 500 Mustang.
Most beautiful movie car of all time, as far as I'm concerned.
It's
Yeah.
fantastic. And this
Eleanor.
movie-
Eleanor.
Eleanor, of course. And I actually have a breakdown of every name of every car on the list, 1 through 50.
All the ladies.
Nice.
All the ladies.
It's wonderful. Yeah.
That, by the way, a lot of people will remember the original for this movie. Had like something like a 40-minute car chase scene in it. The remake, actually better in my opinion.
I agree. I think the remake is incredible in my opinion. The last scene, which I want you guys to know, was largely improvised.
Oh, interesting. I did not know
And also, Nick Cage did the majority of the driving in the scene. He went to a specific driving school to get his education there. And he not only liked the driving school so much that he was in, he continued to go and get lessons from the driving school. And I'm trying to figure out what it is right now. God damn, I can't remember. But he continued to learn from the driving school that taught him initially, and I think it's fantastic. But he is driving the Shelby GT 500 because he's trying to get his brother. Does anybody remember his brother in the movie? Giovanni Ribisi.
Yes.
Thank you.
Giovanni, I was trying to think of his character name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't quite remember, but his brother Giovanni Ribisi is in turn to I don't know.
He's trying to be the next head honcho of the car stealers, pretty much, right?
It's Eccleston's character. I can't remember. Raymond Calitri. That's who it is. Giovanni
Well done.
Ribisi is trying to. Yeah, Kip. Thank you. He is attempting to get 50 cars in one night, and there's this last car, it's Shelby GT 500 that Nick Cage has stolen in an attempt to get to him on the docks in Long Beach, California.
Now,
this
to
chase scene-
heighten the stakes here, real quick.
Sure.
They have to be in pristine condition.
They have to
Have to be in pristine condition.
So not a scratch.
not a scratch. You're absolutely
Which,
right.
in my opinion, was the thing that upped the game from the original to the remake. It was puts the
absolutely-
remake over the top.
You're absolutely right. Yeah. Because, yeah. Yeah, and Nick Cage did, God, he did most of the driving in this movie. It's fantastic. But they go all over Long Beach, California in this film, and it's fantastic. He jumps the car. He's driving. He does J turns. He does 180s. He's driving backwards through the streets. He's driving through traffic. He's jumping the car over 30, 20, whatever cars it is at the end scene. It's just fantastical, and I love every piece of it. And there were, just because I checked out some of the other information, there were approximately 7 Shelby GT 500s that were used and recreated for the scene. 2 of which, one of the original cars that were used for the stunts in this movie, Jerry Bruckheimer has, and another Nick Cage has. Now, from my understanding from IMDb, Jerry Bruckheimer is afraid to actually take his car out. Nick Cage, on the other hand, will take his Shelby GT 500 out just to show it off. And I like Nick Cage's effort on that.
Live
You
your
don't
life.
respect that anymore, right?
Yeah,
Go live it.
I think the scene is incredible. The police are on him left, right, and center, and they don't let up. So it's an incredible scene.
Yeah, I had to pull 21 Jump Street out of my ass because I for sure thought I was going to be talking about Need for Speed and Gone in 60 Seconds. I was going to double down on the Mustang, but of course, they couldn't take it.
Well, you chose that one. I had a couple of one there. Also, J.J. Abrams came in and did an uncredited rewrite of this movie, just so you guys know.
What?
Well, that all makes sense now.
Interesting.
Look at it.
Unfortunately, he did not write out Angelina Jolie's dreads.
He did not.
Yeah. That's cool.
All right, what do you guys?
Yeah, I'll go.
Cool.
One of my favorite scenes is from Fast 5 because I love the
Oh,
Furious
yes.
franchise. I just found out
Yes.
Will loves it too.
Oh, I'm 100% all in on this movie,
Jared's
the
rolling his
franchise,
eyes.
all of it. Love it.
Jared's the guy that's headphones. He's not listening. He's
I
done.
don't-
He's done.
How can you not like this? It's superheroes, but they drive cars.
Super.
Whatever. You go off, sit in your little corner. We're gonna go talk about this
Yeah,
fabulous movie.
You're just zoned out. So this is when Dominic Toretto and Brian O'Connor steal the safe from the police station in Brazil. Brazil.
We all on that. That was great.
It's one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen. I love every fucking minute of it. It starts with The Rock and hot lady cop Elsa Pataki, not related to Helga Pataki.
Hey, Arnold.
Good job.
And they ran their armored car into the police station. Afterwards, Brian and Toretto hook their car up to the safe and fucking gun it out of there. Afterwards, fucking mayhem just ensues. They're breaking everything. They're breaking buildings, they're breaking cars, they're breaking sidewalks and trees and mailboxes. They don't give a fuck. They're the good guys.
Physics.
Yeah.
And physics. Well, come so come to that. These are two Dodge Chargers that they stole from the police station, and
Yes.
they're pulling a 10-ton safe.
They've been souped up.
They've been souped up. They have a shit ton of NOS.
Yeah.
Well, it's a 10-ton safe they're pulling here. It's so goddamn absurd. It's so beautiful. I love every moment about it. It's just, for me, I think Toretto is almost like a Green Lantern. He just sort of wills things that happen. And I'm pretty sure in some point in DCEU will just come up there. He might even be Kilowog, I'm not sure. He might just be Toretto for all I care. Toretto Green Lantern. I hope that happens. This is when Furious goes into space.
Yeah. It might happen.
Anyway, to sum it up, the end scene's on the bridge, and Toretto releases O'Connor from the fucking safe, and he's like, "You got a family, go be a dad." Essentially, he's all about family. And then all the cop cars are just coming towards Toretto. What does he do? He pulls the fucking 10-ton safe with his own car,
All by himself.
all by himself.
His car is a direct representation of how strong Toretto
It's
is
his
in comparison
willpower.
to O'Connor. It is perfect.
It's
It's
his
not like how the
willpower.
car has willpower.
No, he's putting his willpower
It's like
into
you
the
should have
car.
ripped your axle right the fuck out immediately.
Nope. Also, you have all the NOS in the world. You have all the NOS in the world. So he's pulling this fucking 10-ton safe behind him, and all the cars are coming towards him. And you're like, what is he going to do? Because he hasn't used guns. What's Toretto going to do? He fucking serpentines. Just fucking starts smashing all the cars with the safe.
Serpentine. Yeah, serpentine. Right.
Boom, boom, boom. Everybody's down. Everybody's down. Bad guys, go for it.
I was gonna say, and then
Well, bad guys bring out a minigun. Start shooting up Toretto. None of the bullets hit his car. He's Green Lantern Toretto.
Because
Yeah.
why would
Because why not?
He then just pushes the NOS, does a 180 turn, and then uses the safe to destroy the rest of the cars with the minigun. Still alive. He's Toretto.
Yeah, he does like a J turn or something like that, and it flips over the barrier,
Exactly.
and then it like lands and nails the SUV that
Well,
has the main bad guy.
No,
in it,
it's a good point. At all times, Toretto's utilizing the momentum that's carrying the safe forward. So if it's moving forward, Toretto does a J turn to allow it to continue to move in that direction. And Toretto's only manipulating the direction that the safe is traveling. He's not moving it. He's manipulating the direction. That's precision driving.
He's a precision driver.
All right.
Shut up, Jerry.
Finish this off, Will.
I love that scene, Paula. Thank you so much
Thank you.
for sharing that with us. It was, oh man, go back and watch the scene and just suspend your disbelief for a little while and have fun with that, because that scene is so great. It realized what was great about the very first Fast and Furious. At the very end, you have Dominic and Paul Walker's character.
Bad guy.
Yeah, sitting at, and they're going to do the quarter mile and race the train, right? And that was the best part of that movie, was right at the end when they race the train, and then Dom's car hits another car and flips over Brian's car. And what they did with Fast Five was they just took that scene and attached a safe to the back of both their cars and had them work in tandem together and just extended it. It was great, awesome. Thank you, PK.
Yeah.
My main car chase scene that I want to highlight here is pretty much because it is almost the entire movie of Mad Max Fury Road.
It is the whole movie, pretty much.
I mean,
The last two, at least the last 2.5 hours.
yeah, it starts off with as kind of a chase, and then it turns into a race. I believe is what George Miller
Chase race.
described it as. And
Chase race.
the thing that George Miller, I mean, he worked for like 20 years trying to get this movie off the ground. He storyboarded every single shot that's in that movie. He storyboarded it and like worked it and tried to work the angles. And if you have the chance to get the Blu-ray and watch all the special features, you will not be disappointed on this movie and just how much time, effort, planning went into making it. And to be honest, that really is George Miller's legacy with this movie. Is it's the world that he created that made everything possible. I think one of the mantras in the movie was just because it's the wasteland doesn't mean that things can't be beautiful.
Mhm.
So like all of the rusted out cars, everything, all the buzzsaws, everything was just incredibly beautiful, even if it was all disgusting. But yeah, like from the beginning part where they've got the dirt bikes that are jumping over the top of the big rig to Tom Hardy actually tied to the front of one of the War Boys cars. I forget the guy's names. I think it might have been Skids or something like that. But to the mobile cars that are trying to take down everything with all their blades that are spinning, to like the reverse fire truck that's basically spewing fire from one of the ladders at the tanker, like all of that.
Dude ripping sick guitar lyrics.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot about that guy. The gimp, that's like blind, and that's all he does is he just brings the war chant with
Just
the drums
heavy
in the
metal,
back.
dude. I love that movie.
Oh man, to just the like the tank car in the sand, right? That they have driving at night, right? When the guy who's like the scales of justice, and he's he got his eyes shot out by Furiosa who sniped him or something like that. Sniped the light and had the glass shooting into his eyes, and he's basically just out there shooting guns blind, driving on this big giant tank that's got some kind of car body attached to the top of it.
Dude,
Beautiful stuff.
the Frankenstein mobiles that they have in this movie are so fun.
The I can't remember the main bad guy's name because I'm really drank a lot.
It's been a long podcast.
But
I want to say Mugatu.
Mugatu.
That's
No,
a different movie. But his big rig, they actually took
Something Joe. Imogen Joe?
yeah, Immortal Joe.
Immortan Joe.
Immortan Joe?
Immortan Joe.
Thank
That's
you.
what it was.
Yeah, they took tractor tires. They took two of them and they welded them together to make one big, like, giant tractor tire for the back of his car. And what they actually ended up doing for that car is, if you've ever seen Ghostbusters, the Ecto one, the Hertz, they took two of those and stacked them on top of each other to make the body of that car.
No.
It is amazing.
Way.
Oh yeah,
Okay, that's rad.
it's awesome. You got to go out and check out the special features of this movie.
Real quick, Immortan Joe. So the head bad guy in this one, he was kind of a fuck off bad guy in the first one.
Yeah, he was like the
His name was like Toe Cutter in it or something like that. And he was like low level bad guy. I can't remember the full story, but I just remember they brought him back in this one. And it's just a fun little homage to the original.
Well, I actually kind of like to think that Toe Cutter or whatever, I don't
He
know.
got promoted.
Yeah, he like figured some stuff out or whatever. But yeah. But yeah, like all the way at the end, like when you've got I think they call them they're not war boys, they're polecats, and they're swinging 30 feet up, and they're going 60 miles an hour down the Nairobi desert as they're filming this thing. And those are practical effects. There is no CG in that.
Exactly.
There
Dude.
isn't. The only CG that they have on that is the fact that it was too dangerous to have the other cars traveling beside them. So they did different takes, and they basically drove down this stretch of desert like 60 different times in order to fill in every single time and they compiled the shots then.
Dude,
But
it's so
it's
crazy.
all of the actual footage there is practical. It's just superimposed on top of each other.
Could you imagine being one of those quote unquote pole cats on those just
Oh my gosh.
60, all that heat and sand flight?
Yeah.
That's a crazy movie. Speaking of going back to our friend Chris at the barber story, he told me he has some special version of this. I want to say there's one in Germany, but apparently they have a
Black and chrome.
one. And
Yeah.
he said it changes the whole movie.
It does.
And I really want to watch it. I haven't.
Oh, it's
have you
great.
seen it?
Yeah. I have.
Okay.
It is. It's wonderful. Basically, this whole movie, the way that George Miller shot it was he shot it in one way, and then afterwards they did it in post to create the black and chrome. But he created the world in such a way that the only way you can shoot desert and have it look kind of interesting is to oversaturate everything.
Mhm.
And when you do that, like other movies that have done this and actually been really successful is Indiana Jones: The Raiders of the Lost Ark. Is actually kind of shot very, very similarly with that same kind of artisanal style, and that's oversaturated, for the jungle and everything. And so if you go back and watch like Indiana Jones in black and white, everything holds up. And the same thing happens to this movie where everything holds up, and it changes the storytelling because there's so much of a difference between light and darkness with the contrast on everything. The fact that the war boys are painted white throughout most of it.
Do you have a copy of that?
I'm gonna have to check on it, but I will definitely give it to you.
I was like, if I would love to
Yeah.
borrow it. If you have one, I'd love to watch that. Because
Yeah.
I haven't searched too hard, but I've done a little bit of searching and haven't been able to
It's
find
great.
it.
It's great. Definitely, it's gonna be one of those movies because I have it in 3D. But yeah, if I end up buying it on 4K, I'm getting the black and chrome / regular version.
Cool.
Please do.
All right, so I'm curious, Brew Crew, what did you think of our thoughts? Did you have anything you wanted to add to our brings? And then what do you have to bring to the table? Did we miss something? Did the rest of the Brew Crew miss something? Feel free to let us know. Tweet us, Facebook us, Instagram us, put us in the comments. But yeah,
We'd love to continue the conversation.
we'll see, indeed. Before we wrap up, are you guys watching anything, doing anything, playing anything, reading anything?
I've been reading Batman Detective. Just Paul Dini is the
Paul Dini's great, bro.
yeah,
Love Paul
anything
Dini.
that you can get your hands on with him as a writer.
Especially Paul Dini and Batman. He was the head writer on Batman the Animated Series.
Yep.
Batman, the first Arkham games, except for the last one, the Arkham Knight, he did not do. Creator of Harley Quinn, bunch of other characters. Paul Dini is a great, great writer.
Anything you can get of him, read it.
Absolutely.
That's wonderful. And then I just, I did the whole Thanksgiving thing. I wasn't here last week, driving back home from Washington doing that. So I had some flag football. Just been watching football. It's been
Cool.
fun.
Excellent. Paula?
What?
Yeah.
You going through Pornhub? What are you doing?
Exactly. That's what I've been doing. What do you think I'm doing here?
Going through Pornhub. That's what you do.
Exactly. That's what I've been doing. That's what I've been doing.
I just finished The Tick on Amazon. Finally. Had a day off. So I decided I was going to sit down and finish something. Will you shut up for a second, Will?
I'm trying.
So I decided it was The Tick. But I really, really liked that show. Interesting cast, but I like Peter Serafinowicz as The Tick. Jackie Earle Haley is The Terror. Fun story, great humor. Can't wait to see the next season on it. So if you got Amazon Prime, if you like The Tick as a kid, or even if you didn't, and you're looking for something new, a fun off-kilter adult-oriented comic book show,
How adult?
check out The Tick. The humor is definitely not for kids. Okay, so it's not like the only thing is you get a fair amount of fucks in it,
Okay.
and then there is some legit violence.
Okay.
But not too bad by any stretch of the imagination or anything. But legitimately see people like get their throats slit in ways that kind of make me go oh and stuff. But that's really kind of the worst of it. But I said check it out, so that's what I did. Jake, you got anything? Paul, are you actually paying attention yet?
So much sass, so little
I
words.
got nothing here, man.
Cool. All right. Well, hopefully next week you guys will be
You guys won't just be working your bones to the ground.
better. More, you'll contribute more. Anything before we wrap up? What was your favorite beer? What was your least favorite beer? There was not a bad beer.
There was not a
Oh,
bad
so
beer
yeah.
tonight.
What was your favorite beer?
Ooh, that orange vanilla cream situation.
Man, that was good. I'm gonna agree. That was my favorite
Yeah.
too. I liked a lot of them. I liked the Dead in Bed, but that one I will pick up again if I because it's not one you're gonna see often.
No.
It was super yummy. I
Yeah.
liked it.
Follow
If I
Troy.
recommend to pick one up from this podcast, I think a unanimous Brewnomics decision. Follow Troy.
Follow Troy.
Excellent. Good job, Belching Beaver. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Give us a 5-star review. Share. That would be the coolest thing. Especially if you share it and we're like, hey, listen to these guys.
Tell your friends. Word of mouth is like super popular.
It is, and it's expensive to advertise.
Oh, one more thing. Sorry. Go check out the interview that I did with Evan at
Oh,
Heritage.
yes.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up. Actually, that is available now. So on your podcast, check out the bonus episode, Powder House interview with Will.
No,
Heritage.
Heritage Hop House.
Jesus Christ. We've been drinking too much. House. It was the house at the end that confused me.
But do check out
Heritage
the
Hop House. We
Do
also
check-
have an interview with Powder House.
do check out the interview with Hop House.
Powerhouse is episode 30.
Something.
Heritage is like 45.5 or something.
All right. Yep. Well, that's probably enough. Until next time, I've been Jerry.
I'm Paula. I'm Vic.
I'm Will.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Whew.
That's a long one there, YouTube. Have fun watching that, you 2-hour son of a bee.
Why don't you shut up sometimes? Will? It's fine.